welcome back to this amazing second podcast in our series. And today we have with us our amazing guest, Lupe. Hi, Lou.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Great. Really honored to be part of your podcast.
Wonderful, wonderful. So we would love to know about you, from where you are joining, and anything that you would like our audience to know about you. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I am joining from far from where you are. I am from Bolivia. Bolivia is a country that is not in Europe. It is in South America,
Okay.
right in the middle of South America. Um, as many people from Latin America, I speak Spanish mainly. But Bolivia is a highly indigenous country. So my indigenous background is Aymara. Um, so Halpukipanaya Naya Lupe Sutiwa. That means hi, I am Lupe.
Wow.
And that's my name. So yeah, that's my original language. And I would say more than 60% of the population here talks a native language before Spanish.
Okay. Wow. That's an interesting fact that you shared. Nice and nice. We would love to know more about your professional experience, Lou. That would be really great to know.
Yeah. I am a software engineer. I think I started playing with Linux servers about 10 years ago ish. At that time, I started, how do you say this? Like it is like a student club. So we got together between students and we started to learn Linux together, Linux systems and cryptography and very nerdy things. So I am a nerd at heart, and I discovered that the best way to learn something is by explaining it to others.
Yes.
So as I started to create these groups, um, I became an organizer of the communities. And at some point, I think my biggest event I organized that was 2014. And it was at the beginnings of my journey on the tech journey. And it was an Android event. So that time, Kotlin development was new. It was Java. And people would be like, and we had Android, very early versions of Android. And we decided to organize an event for 1,000 people in La Paz,
Wow.
which was a huge goal. And I didn't realize that at that moment. We were kind of sad because we didn't go to the target, but we reached to have an event that was a weekend event far from the city, and it was 500 people with a very low budget. And we got to have like 4 tracks, like workshops, talks, and a hackathon, and also we have international speakers. And I was leading. We had different areas. I was leading at that time the marketing team. My team was like, okay, we have to publish everything, post, make people come to the event. So I was very loud at the time without knowing it. And people thought I was an Android expert. And yeah, I mean, I gave like 3 workshops in that event at the same time I was organizing it.
Amazing.
But my workshops were for beginners and I was not an expert, but probably I knew more than most of the people probably. But by all means, I was not an expert on Android. But my first job as a software engineer was as an Android developer. And I was the first girl in my office that only knew Android. The rest of them were like servers and like web development and other things. That was a very short job. It lasted 3 months. That was a contract. And after that, I got a job in New York.
Wow. So you shifted to
So it
New
was
York.
a big jump. It was a big jump very early on my career.
Wow.
yeah, from that it life kept changing, and I was in the US, living in the US for a time, then come back to my country, fight. I had a really, like, it's this relationship where you have love and hate. So after New York, I was like, no, I'm super excited. I will never ever be doing tech anymore, and I am an artist at heart. So I was like, this is it. I'm quitting tech. But after doing art again,
Yeah.
and my topics of talking, like my interests of the things I wanted to express through art, was about tech. So I was like, okay, I was not. So I was like, yeah, I really like this. So I went back to tech, had my best experience at teaching women how to become software engineers and get their first job across Latin America, which was very impactful personally because I could see their life changing directly. And I have seen around 100 women, more than 100 women having those changes because I was tutoring, mentoring, and teaching, and many other things. And that was very, very beautiful. And I think that's how I came back to tech. And after that, I got another job offer in the US for a big company. And I was a software engineer in an elite team, which was for me very strange because it was not feeling elite. But it felt that way because always from the beginning, when people would believe I was an Android expert,
Yeah.
I was not an Android expert. Then I was teaching web development, and people believed that I was an expert, but I didn't feel as an expert. And when I joined a big company in an elite team, I still didn't feel an expert. Um, that makes me wonder what is an expert actually. But yeah, so I think it's been on ups and downs and a big journey through that. Now I am part of the DevRel Uni cohort 7, and well, Bolivia is. I am now living in Bolivia, and it's a very challenging place to be at.
Why?
First, because people doesn't speak English in the regular basis here.
Okay.
I think that's not the case in India, from what I know from my friends
Yeah.
from there. And you have different dialects.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
so.
We
It's
do
not
have that.
only me, right? Uh, yeah. So it's. But I know they speak that in your area they speak English like naturally, and
Yes.
here it is something that you have to put an effort on because it's not going to happen just by default. Um, but that's one thing. And the other thing is La Paz is a city where you normalize strikes. So, like the roads have blocks, protests all the time. So you live in the noise, in between the noise. And people that are foreigners are very surprised on how we normalize the protest, because I think our country is naturally led and ruled by what happens on the streets. And I think it's great, but it is challenging because when people is protesting, business are affected, and that means, for example, these days, food is not arriving to the city. You cannot find meat, chicken in the markets, and all the prices would go up. But the protests are for real causes because we have a lot of areas that are public, like education is free, health is mostly free, and we have a lot of public workers like doctors or teachers that are paid by public funds. But with this, we have a new transition in the government, which means in his politics are more like private. Everything should be private, private education,
Yeah.
private health, and it's a huge change. I don't know if that model would work or not, but of course that means a lot of people would lose their job. So their protests are becoming bigger right now, more violent,
So that is
which
affecting
is
a lot of things.
of course not only the way you live, but also emotionally, and also it's like it is very like worrying, and you don't know what to do because I was thinking my hands are tired. I cannot solve. I know our government doesn't have the money for keep these things sustainable, and it's a mess. So many people would just assume they like, okay, you just live with it and normalize it, but it is not normal,
Yeah, it
and
can't
it
be
is not
normalized.
fine. And it should not be.
Yeah.
I think that's challenging. Oh, because of all of this transition and problems that we're having here, because of course we have a global problem with combustible or gas. So that means we also have that here, and it's like the cost of the gas is more expensive. That and we are buying from other countries,
Yeah.
and we don't have dollars for enough dollars for buying that and paying that. So the banks for the last almost a year about they are not emitting dollars, so you cannot get dollars in the bank. So
Okay.
there has developed a black market in the way you get dollars, and crypto has arisen as a consequence. Many people in Bolivia has crypto without knowing they have crypto because they have digital dollars, which are USDTs. And my family, they were like asking me, how do I pay these things for internet because our Bolivian card would not work. You cannot buy or pay for a simple Google Drive, Google Storage, ChatGPT. You cannot buy cents of dollars, or maybe $10 should be a easy pay, but it is not. It was not easy. Now it's kind of switching a little bit. And because of that, many crypto cards were successful here
Okay.
because that was the only way to pay for these online services. And my family had to learn that. So I had to teach that to my sister, to my mom, and to many people around me. That's how I started a program called Crypto, which has the goal to teach about crypto, basics of crypto, nothing technical, and to navigate the crypto space safely. And this program is aimed for women that are over 18 years old, because kids are not my main area or expertise, but that's how it happened. And the program has already had four versions. Yeah, and we are planning to go for the fifth version. And that led me to building products on crypto and joining hackathons, and starting to think maybe I can try to solve something of all of these problems and put my seeds on the area by maybe creating something that's valuable for the people around. Besides teaching, which also is something that I really love. And with all the AI coming into
Yeah.
crypto, so that became like, okay, this is interesting. So maybe there is something around it. So that's why now in DevRel Uni, I am learning about how AI and crypto, how you can navigate that space, but safely, because a lot of hackings are happening, and data breach, and everything around. Because now that we have AI, it gets easier for hackers too. So even people that is not technical probably needs to know the basics of the safeties that are not like you have to go to your terminal and it's like how do you talk to your vibe caller friend. Yeah, that's where I am. I don't know if that was a lot of context. I don't know if this context is only happening here in Bolivia, or I know the world is right now in a very complex panorama, but I don't know how is that being felt in your side of the world, like in India. How are the streets? How are they feeling it?
Yeah,
How they
definitely. It was really beautiful to know all the context and situations that you have shared here, Liu. And I'm really really proud of you and so happy that you are creating an impact by teaching a lot of people, specifically women, about crypto, how to navigate, and specifically your mom, your sister, about the basics of crypto. That's really amazing. And yeah, and also the thing I didn't know that a dollar, like we can't even pay and buy any services online that is in dollars at Bolivia. So that's like a negative point, and that is considered as a plus point for all the cryptocurrencies. Obviously, that's why crypto cards would be successful at your place, which on the other end might not be successful at the places where the transaction is really easy, if they are in dollars. If I talk about my part of the world in India, we do have like some impact due to the war, because we also don't have that much gas source. We also have to buy gas from that countries, either I guess that was Strait of Hormuz or Russia, I guess, but that is affecting a lot of things here. The inflation is getting higher and higher on the petrols, and daily things that we have in our place is getting the prices of all those commodities, that is like the basic needs of day-to-day life is increasing and increasing. That is affecting the life of so many people. So it is affecting a lot of people, the war that is happening between in which like US and other countries are involved. So that's the thing. And yeah, that's amazing to know that how a series of steps took place in your life that led you to be a part of DevRel Uni, and why you joined DevRel Uni and what you're learning. That's really amazing to know about, Lou. Particularly, I would love to know how you get to know about this program, and till now, what specifically you have learned that really stood to you and you want to share here with us.
okay. I think we have 5 minutes for this.
It's
Is
okay.
this
It's
the last
totally okay.
question?
It's like we could try to 15 to 20, but if it's extended and if you're okay too, then we can like discuss over the things. It's totally okay. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Share the question again then, please.
Yeah, it's okay. So how you got to know about this program, and particularly what you have learned till now in the program, which you would like to share that really stood out to you?
Okay, perfect. How did I learn about this program? I am currently leading the DevRel initiative in Bolivia, um, because I met Solen last year at Con in Argentina. And we have like a place where we share many resources. And this one's caught my eye, and I was like, I always wanted to be a DevRel, but I never thought I I didn't want it to be like a woman in tech that was not technical. That was something that early in my career I was like, I have to be technical, because every time you see a woman in tech, it's like, ah, you probably are marketing or product, because you cannot be technical. And that for me was like, just for that reason, I was like, no, I can be very technical and probably better than like many people in the same room that I it was. That was kind of a personal goal. Now that I look back, is like, I don't think I care more that, but it was a lot that way in the beginning. For that reason, I felt that I had to be very, like, had a lot of experience on my technical side before starting to have an official role in DevRel, because even though I have shared and given many technical talks, because there are many times as a woman in tech that you are invited to panels to be like, oh, what is your experience as a woman in tech? And it's very like, oh, soft skills are important, which are, and I think they are very valuable panels, and it's needed to talk about those things. But for myself, it felt repetitive to just talking about the same thing another woman in tech could be talking. So that's why I would try to balance those kind of talks, the soft skills with the technical ones. So I would say, yeah, this time I will teach you how you can have a server on doing this and that. Um, But for that reason, I was like, even if I gave workshops that were technical, I wouldn't feel ready enough to take on a role that was DevRel officially for a company, and I would mostly take roles that are engineering itself. But now, when I was writing my application for DevRel Uni, I was like, yeah, it has been almost a decade since you were writing Linux. So maybe you have now enough experience and you can try to be a DevRel officially, which probably you don't have to have a lot of that experience to wait that much. You can be a DevRel in the early years of your careers because you are sharing knowledge, and if that is valuable for others, maybe that is enough. But that's what made me join to this program and to learn about what other people was doing. And what stood up with me was, I mean, there's a lot of insights, that's why it's harder for me to pick. But I think the last one that talk about you finding some, like, working in something that you are passionate about
Yeah.
is very important, but make sure that also that is enough to pay your bills.
Yeah.
So, and that cannot and will not always be perfect. That's hard to find. People that has, like, it has high pay and also you're passionate about. It's like a nice combination, but not possible all the time. But you can try to aim to reach for that. I think that was something that stood up with me. And the other thing was, like, you have to. One of the speakers said you have that he asks his engineers to learn 2 hours daily, something
Yeah.
new. And I was like, that makes totally sense because right now the industry is growing so fast and a lot of new things are happening all the time that 2 hours for learning new things feels like totally indispensable.
Definitely. So that's amazing that you shared all the insights. And particularly, I want to ask that you recently shared a video where you were doing, I guess, gymnastics or athletics, right? If I'm not wrong. So I would love to touch, if you want to touch a bit upon that part, like how you're managing that athletics and gymnastics, and then tech, and then community, and then DevRel. And I also got to know from your LinkedIn experience that you have written a documentary and then you've been awarded nationally for that. Would you like to touch some more on that as well? Like, what was the documentary? And congratulations, by the way, for that.
Thanks. I don't know how to. I don't know. It just happens. It's very hard. Sometimes for me, it's very hard to introduce myself because they try to, like, say, keep it in one line. And I feel like, well, I am many things and I've done many things in my life, which is a life I am proud of. And I am happy that I have chosen to do many things. Many things that I do, I choose to do them because I am happy doing them. Um, and all things that were, like, just bigger than me that they just took upon me. For example, I mean, I don't know where is the start of film. I will start with filmmaking and I will end with the gymnastics. But I am a musician too.
Wow.
And I write poetry. So yeah, it's like I have an artistic side that is very strong, and I think, and I like many things, and I always feel like life would never be enough for me to do all the things that I want to do. But because of that, I have, like, seasons. And that means I have a season where I am writing. I have another season when I learn to dance specific things. I actually organized one of the biggest communities on salsa and bachata dancing in Seattle, in the US. They are now over 100 members of people that just would love to dance that.
Wow.
Um, And I have in if I would choose only one thing that from all the things that I like in my life, the one genuinely thing that I do like is dancing. Like me and dancing is like everything disappears. That is for me just being in magic, and if that's the place where I would be forever if my body could resist it because my body gets tired. So it doesn't last more than 2 minutes, maybe 5 minutes with like yeah if because you can dance slightly like and I can do that like for an hour hours but if I get to that point where it's like we should get magic, that for me could last 5 minutes tops.
Fine.
But that okay, so filmmaking for me, it started because didn't know. I didn't want to choose a specific thing that I wanted to focus on. And that was a perfect study because now I am a college student of filmmaking in Bolivia. It started because I wanted to formalize all my relationships with art. So I could feel like a real artist because of it and not call it hobbies. So that's why I choose filmmaking, where I could have the skills to write, to analyze music, to tell stories, to read too, and to create photographies and images and pictures. And as it is there, it adds up all different areas of art. That's how I choose to do that. But the documentary that I made that got this prize of a national prize was not a choice of like, okay, I do like filmmaking and I am doing because I am experimenting of this passion and I am just like a film. I know all the films and I am like very picky on that and these authors and directors. No, I didn't. I didn't even start filmmaking school at that point when I was doing that. When I was doing the documentary, it was me and my mom talking a lot about the things that matter for her. And I was thinking at that time I did had time and I was like, Mom, I want to help you and tell your story. And that was mostly it. So, and we were like procrastinating on it. So there was a public, how do you say this? Like a convocatory, like an open call for artists that had projects. And I told my mom, let's write this down and make send this proposal because probably even if we don't get it, even if we don't win anything, we are going to formalize and structure what we want to tell. So it's a good excuse for us to write this proposal and try to make more formal this documentary. And that's how it happened. We already wanted to do it and we were like thinking, oh, it's a documentary. So you do a classic thing. You do interviews and then you have role B or like supporting images and that's it. That was where we had like photographs that were from the 80s, very, very old physical photographies. So that was like, okay, we have that, the supporting images, and we will do interviews to my mom and to the friends of my mom where all of these things happened. And that was the plan. No other references, no other documentaries, no other things. That was like the idea. We sent a proposal, we won, and then we had to make it. We had like, I think 4 months to make it and to have like the premiere. And it was like, okay, so now let's do it. And at that time, it was just the time I was starting the filmmaking school. And then I discovered documentaries can be very artistic and can have very different narratives that are linear, non-linear, and you can do a lot of different things. And then I was discovering new authors, and it was like, okay, well, we are not going to do something simple. We're not doing news. I was like becoming more like, okay, I want to do art for real. And I told my mom that. And she says, let's keep it simple. we just want to do it raw. And it's like, no, this has to be perfect. Blah, blah. It was like doing something with your mom when you love your passion and you admire her. It is very challenging when you don't have the same opinions, because it's not only your relationship as co-participants in a project and co-creators, but also your personal relationship. And it was for me exhausting, but also like inspiring. So it has many feelings around it. And we did it. We got it to do it finally. I was proud of that. And I still it's a short film, and I mean short, medium, it's like 20 minutes. I wanna I want that to become a long film. Um, but I am like, it was a very like intense experience. So I am like, okay, chilling it, and I will be ready. Probably I will do this as like my final project of college. That's the goal. And do it more like the way, like very experimental that I am trying to, or maybe not. Well, we'll see what happens with that. And that's how it happened with filmmaking. But now I know better on how films are done and how stories are told. And for silks, I am officially an acrobat aerialist. I think about 2 years already, and that is because I don't I don't like gyms. I tried. I went to gym once in my life, and I did, I don't know, some weights.
Yeah.
I was like, this is boring. I don't know why people
You
are
need
doing
something
this.
exciting. Yeah.
I needed something that was challenging.
Challenging.
And moving the same thing in the same way was not challenging. So I was like, let's put my life in risk. Let's go up 6 meters on top of something and hang from there and maybe do some drops.
That was amazing, Lou. Nice.
And then, yeah, I could call myself an aerial dancer and keep flying all the way, it is very fun.
It is fun. Yeah, it is, and I'm so excited and full of energy hearing your story. Is your the film that you produced is live? If we can we can see it. It is on YouTube.
It is not there yet.
Okay.
But I think I would release it soon. Once I do it, I'll let you know
Yeah,
so you can.
once it will be published, to let me know. We can put it in the description. So if anyone wants to watch it, they can watch and they can really appreciate what you have produced with your mother. That's really good. And you mentioned that you would be you want to make it as a final project of your college. So still you are in college?
Yeah, this is my second career for
Okay, this
filmmaking
okay, second one. Okay, previously you did your college in which particular
in
field?
computer science.
Computer science. Okay, wonderful.
Mhm.
As we are over time, so we would love to know any advices that you want to share with the audience, as you have a diverse experience in dancing, in filmmaking, in gymnastic, in like leaving boring things and taking up challenges, right? And in creating communities in different various roles as a front-end developer, and then now as a DevRel, you want to make DevRel. Any advices that you want to share? Three advices, and any mistakes that you have conducted in your life, which you would like to share so that other people would get to learn a lot from them.
Okay, it's hard to give advice because I feel like I'm still learning, but I always try to first remember how something makes me feel and ask that myself, like, okay, I am getting stressed out. Why is this? Because I care, or is this something maybe and I could avoid this, or do something different about this, or do I really not care about this? And if that is the case, then don't do it. Just don't, unless it's strictly necessary because you have, for example, if you go to pay your bills, maybe that's important to quit your job. um, but if it's not, always try to find things that are more like that give you pleasure in your life. Second would be don't think that much about what others are thinking about you because they are mostly thinking about themselves than you. So it really doesn't matter what they are going to be saying, or even if they say something, it doesn't really matter. And the number three is you only got one life.
Yeah.
Definitely make sure you're doing the things that you want to do it, that are your top priority.
Beautiful. And any of the mistakes that you've conducted that you would like to share so others would not conduct the same mistake and could learn out of them?
Well, basic mistakes I still do keep doing it is like I don't get enough sleep hours.
My God.
And I am trying to sleep at least 8 hours. But sometimes when there comes interesting projects come up, I stay until 2 a.m. and that is for me too much. 2 a.m. is too much. I've been in hackathons where people doesn't sleep at all. I don't recommend that. I've done that, but I definitely do not. And it's something like it's my deal breaker. And when I join a hackathon team, it's like I'll let the team know I will sleep. I'm sorry, that's important. But I try to like, and 2 a.m. for me is too much. So I would prefer before midnight sleeping, but something very repetitive and very hard to handle. And also food, take care of your body. So, and I am trying to have better food habits, trying to stay on time, but not always is happening. And that can lead you to be more tired and not be as productive as you want. And another mistake that I did notice I've done a lot is I didn't want to make people uncomfortable. Therefore, I didn't ask enough questions. And I was thinking, no, I don't want to bother you. I will figure out myself. Please don't be angry at me. Kind of like that attitude. And it's like, hey, you are just asking. Go and ask the question because let's say you don't know anything because like 4 years ago I think I didn't know anything about crypto and I had a crypto friend that was like very crypto bro and I would like go and ask by size like how does this work, how do I get some bitcoin, but not specifically like hey show me exactly what are the steps that I would take and how do I like buy it and then I send it as easy as that. And I did not ask that just because I felt like I should know, but how? I mean, there is a lot of information on the internet, but it's not enough. So ask the questions. It's okay to be silly.
That's really amazing. So I guess this episode would be really valuable for you all that you watched it, and today we get to know a lot about Lou, her experiences, and we also got to know a lot of advices, mistakes that we can really from them we can really learn from. So thank you so much, Lou, for coming on this podcast series and sharing your experience and for your valuable time. And this episode is really special because in India, in my place, it is 11:18 p.m. and just after 42 minutes, I'll be turning 21. Yeah, it's my birthday tomorrow. So yes, uh,
Happy
yes.
birthday, happy birthday.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lou. And with this, we close this episode. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching and for tuning us till then. Bye bye.